He'll start speaking about everything he needs to say to everybody. So Chris, I give you now the shot. You can go ahead, and from now on, it's all yours. Thank you, Chris.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Thank you to the Travel Tech team. Really pleased to be here today and to speak with everyone. So I'm going to share my screen now. I hope everyone can see that. Again, my name is Chris Baniewicz. I am on the Revenue Performance Solutions team at Expedia Group. Before I get started and jump into Revplus and talk about our product today, just wanted to take a quick moment to talk about travel. All of us are here today because we're passionate about travel, right? Travel can change lives, it opens minds, it drives better understanding between people from all walks of life. And that's something the world needs today more than ever. And even though we're still in some challenging times, travel is recovering. And while this pandemic is a challenge unlike any we've faced before, it does present an opportunity for revenue leaders to demonstrate the value that they provide to their organization and the value that they provide to the broader travel industry. So I wanted to take today to discuss some key ways in which revenue leaders across the globe are demonstrating their value by using data and insights to make more informed decisions that drive revenue performance. At Expedia Group, we've made it possible for our lodging partners to build an effective revenue performance strategy by using our Revplus solution. If you're unfamiliar with Revplus, it's a free solution available through Expedia Partner Central, which provides competitive rate intelligence and market performance data. Our Revplus team is guided by the vision to democratize revenue performance technology. We want to help more and more partners across the globe access the right data and insights so that they can make data-driven decisions that increase their revenue. I've mentioned the term revenue performance, and you see it here at the top of this slide. So you might be wondering what that term means. Maybe you've never heard it before. Well, revenue performance is an evolved approach from the traditional practices of revenue management. One thing we've all learned from COVID-19 is that some traditional revenue management approaches are no longer adequate. Think about the use of historical data to predict demand and what's ahead of us. That historical data doesn't really help that much anymore, right? We can't look back at history to predict what's ahead. With a revenue performance approach, the focus is on maximizing demand, revenue, and profitability by using both forward-looking and historical data in context to how the market and the competitive set are performing. The key ingredients of this approach are real-time pricing data, just-in-time insights, and market demand context. I'm now going to take you through how lodging partners are using Revplus to find success as they rebound from the pandemic. As I just mentioned, partners are thinking forward, not backward. And one piece of forward-looking data that helps revenue leaders is search demand data. Lodging operators want to know which dates customers are searching for in their market. This is unique data that we have at Expedia Group. And in 2020, we began to expose this through our Revplus solution. We call this feature Market Recovery Insights. And it's a percentage of how many page visits a market receives for a specific stay date. We display this in two ways. First, we show it as a percentage so that users can compare the search demand now versus that same date in 2019 when demand was more normalized. This is what you see here. Each date in this view has a percentage shown in the bottom left-hand corner. And there's also green water level color indicators showing when demand is high and when it's low. And then we also display this data as raw search demand data so that users can see precisely how many travelers are searching for that date. And again, this data is available for the next 365 days. And we know that this is important data because it helps revenue leaders to focus their marketing and price tactics on the dates where demand is actually the greatest. By focusing on these dates, hopefully you can increase conversion and drive more revenue. And this type of data also helps you follow the evolution of market demand. It gives you an indication of when demand is returning back to pre-pandemic levels so that you can anticipate what's ahead. We update this on a regular basis and often recommend that our users review it at least on a weekly basis as well. By doing that, by coming back every week to look at something like this, it ensures you stay informed as the demand in your market evolves so that you don't miss out on that next opportunity. Another way that revenue leaders are thinking forward instead of backwards is by comparing their current occupancy performance to that of the market. Since it's not really helpful to look back to historical demand, it's become increasingly difficult to know where you stand, such as, are you ahead or behind the market average? Revenue leaders want to know the answer to that question. So to help solve for this, Revplus has developed what we call current market occupancy. This is an estimate of the percentage of sold rooms in a market. Think of it as the current occupancy level as of right now, but at a market level. We also show this metric in two different ways. First, as you see here in this visual in the calendar view, and then also by clicking into the date. You can see the projection of the current market occupancy for this day. We know this is important, and our partners are finding success using this data in a variety of ways. Most importantly, it helps users to compare their performance to the market. You already know the current occupancy of your property for a future date. But now with this information, you can easily compare your performance to that of the market. It lets you know if you're ahead or behind so that you can adjust your strategy and your tactics. And it can also help you forecast. Forecast is increasingly difficult now with the uncertainty of demand, but by layering in external demand estimates, such as this from Revplus, it helps make your internal forecast more robust. And this data is also nice to share with other stakeholders of your business. By sharing the demand estimates, it helps everyone in your organization get aligned on what actions you can take to improve your performance. When I think about revenue managers, most of us want to track our occupancy, our pace, our pickup, and we want to do this daily or maybe multiple times per day. That's because demand changes quickly, so it's important to use this type of information often to stay informed and to stay ahead. Another way that we're hearing from lodging partners that they're finding success rebounding from the pandemic is by attracting demand from different types of travelers. As you know, travelers have different needs, motivations, and booking behaviors. A one-size-fits-all price strategy approach is generally not an effective way to keep your occupancy levels up on a consistent basis. In order to do that, you need to attract a diverse audience of travelers. And to help attract demand from different types of travelers, we often hear from lodging partners who tell us that they want to price more competitively on fenced channels. If we think about a traditional revenue management pricing approach, it's about benchmarking your rates versus the competitive set. Usually you only pay attention to the rates that are publicly available, right? Yet many hoteliers use fenced pricing to target certain traveler types. So in theory, we should monitor and compare our prices on those channels too, right? So to solve for this, we've exposed member-only rates within Revplus. This price data is displayed in real time, and it's available for the next 365 days, just like all of the other price data in Revplus. Previously, it wasn't easy for revenue managers to find this type of information. You needed to conduct manual shops by going on the websites directly and logging in as a user, which means this feature is helping a lot of our partners save time. And it's also helping them be more competitive in price so that they can attract this specific type of traveler and thus fill the gaps they have in occupancy and drive greater revenue performance. All of us are motivated to outperform the competition. So our aim at Revplus is to make it easier for you to spot the opportunities that you can be more competitive. Another traveler type that revenue managers and revenue leaders often want to target is those who are bundling or packaging purchases together. At Expedia Group, we call these package bookings. This is when a traveler purchases their hotel and their airfare together. These travelers generally stay longer, they book a bit further in advance, and they cancel less often. So, of course, it's important to ensure your price is competitive to these types of travelers, especially as the recovery continues, and hopefully we continue to see flight demand increase across the globe. For this reason, we've developed package competitive prices in Revplus. This is one of our newest features. It allows a user to compare package pricing between hotel and airfare versus all of their competitive set. As you see in the visual here, we display the combined price of the hotel and the airfare together. This is exactly how a traveler will see the rates when they're searching for their next trip to your destination. This is a great way to be more competitive with your price so that you're offering a strong value proposition to travelers. And it's a great way to also help you save some time. So we've just looked at two types of travelers and how you could attract them and ensure that your price is optimized to them. We looked at those who book packages and those who want to book using their loyalty status. But there's so many other types of travelers walking through your doors every single day. Think about families or perhaps business guests that are staying an extended length of time, or just those who are looking for a bigger room, such as a suite. All of these types of travelers have different price sensitivities, different needs, and different motivations. In order to attract these travelers, you need to optimize all of your prices on all of your room types and all of your rate plans, right? In Revplus, we allow users to customize the pricing data for each of the next 365 days. Our users can choose to see prices based on different length of stay patterns, different room types, different occupancy levels, and different international points of sale. Think about the higher priced rooms at your property, such as your suites. To be successful, the prices of all your room types should be optimized, right? Not just the base room type, but all of them. And you need to ensure that you're optimizing your prices on a regular basis because the demand and your competition will likely change frequently. So because of this, we display all of this price data in real time. That means that the rates displayed in Revplus are identical to the rates that a traveler sees on the live website right now. Another way our partners are finding success is by offering flexibility and increasing value or adding value. Flexibility, as you know, has become increasingly important since the COVID-19 pandemic begun. Travelers want peace of mind that they can change their booking without penalty if they're unable to make their trip. Similarly, travelers are now searching for more value in all of the purchases that they make. While price is still a highly important component in the traveler decision-making process, flexibility and value have become increasingly important over the past year. So what we hear from revenue leaders is that they want to ensure they're offering competitive cancellation policies and competitive value inclusions. We've included functionality in Revplus to make it easy for users to compare their cancellation policies and their value adds to each property in their competitive set. In this visual, you can see how that information is displayed towards the bottom where you see the arrows here. Our goal is to make it easier for partners to access this type of information so that they can be competitive with their cancellation policies and their value adds as well, along with just their general pricing. Making it easier for revenue leaders, revenue managers, that's what's important to us. The practice of revenue management can be daunting, it can seem complex, it can be very overwhelming for many of us. For those who are seasoned in the role, it's still really easy to get lost in the data and the insights. There's only so much data you can absorb at any given moment, right? So because of this, you likely have asked yourself the question over a period of time, how can I spend less time analyzing and more time strategizing? If you could spend less time gathering the data and more time actually strategizing based on it, it probably is going to lead to more success for you. In the work that all of us do, we want to strive for increased simplicity and more efficiency. We want to make well-informed decisions, but we want to do so with speed. And we're seeing that lodging partners that are having the most success rebounding from COVID-19 are taking this simpler, more efficient approach. The way that Revplus can help here is with our price grid view. This is our all-in-one consolidated view, which is what you see here in the screen. In this view, users can see the competitive price data and the market performance data. All of the data that I showed you before, that's all available side by side in this view for the next 365 days. You can just simply scroll the bar from left to right to see all of that information. By laying out the competitive and market data in this fashion, it allows users to take that simplified approach. And it also allows users to export the data. That's a functionality that we've included, which you'll see on the right-hand side of your page here. We understand it's important for many of you to view competitive price data and market data in the same spreadsheets where you're tracking your internal pickup, your pace, and other key performance indicators. Many of our most successful partners take this approach. They want the data incorporated into their own spreadsheets. So for this reason, we allow the exporting so that it's super easy for you to incorporate our insights into your own documents as you go throughout your day and as you make your decisions. By simplifying your approach, you can also ensure that you're staying informed and staying ahead. This is important to all of us, right? And a great way to stay informed is by setting up alerts and notifications. Lodging operators tell us all the time that they need notifications to stay ahead because they're so busy throughout their day. And they tell us that the notifications need to be customized so that they're relevant to the specific needs of their property. So for your hotel, maybe it's important for you to know when the average competitive set ranges by 5% or 20%. Or maybe you want to know anytime a specific competitor of yours changes their rating. All lodging properties are different. No two hotels are the same. There are many factors that can impact your revenue performance. Here's a visual of what our customized notification panel looks like, where users can choose what to be notified about and when. The notifications are then sent via email or shown directly in the Revplus app. To stay informed and stay ahead, it's also important to know exactly when to optimize your price. Using data science algorithms that look at the historical pricing data and the booking behavior of your property and the behavior of the competitive set, we display two potential alerts to identify when your price can be optimized. Plus, we have a tooltip to help explain how we came up with this price optimization so that it is very clear to you. We want our users to understand the methodology behind our price optimizations so that you can make the best decision for your property. And now I'll just talk quickly about another challenge that's facing our lodging industry right now, and specifically the revenue management discipline. And that's about pulling together data across a variety of systems. Every day, revenue leaders use a variety of solutions, right? A property management system, an extranet, a central reservation system, and many other solutions. I'm sure we've all thought before about the benefits of whether we could consolidate that data and those insights to us in as few systems as possible, right? And we've also thought about how this data and insights could be displayed in a simple and clean fashion. This would help save you time, and it would lead to more timely actions. The problem is it's always been highly complex to do this from a technology standpoint. And while we're certainly not there yet, we're just getting started. We are on the path to helping more partners integrate data and insights natively into their own solutions that they use to make price and inventory decisions, such as a property management system. By embedding Revplus data into systems like property management systems, partners become empowered with real-time pricing and market insights. It's an opportunity to help more and more lodging operators make data-driven decisions and increase their revenue performance. It's a win for us all, right? So I hope you've all enjoyed hearing about how lodging partners across the globe are finding success taking a revenue performance approach. As I end today, I'd like to discuss one other way that revenue leaders are finding success, by involving everyone. As leaders of your operation, you know how important it is to have an effective strategy and a plan in place to achieve revenue growth. And you know that achieving success is often needs to involve everyone, right? That's because revenue performance is a team initiative. Every member of your organization should be empowered to help grow revenue and get you to the goal and the objective of where you want to get to. This is how our partners are successfully rebounding from the impacts of COVID-19. I encourage you all to make revenue performance a team initiative and wish you all success as travel demand returns. So thank you all for allowing me to speak today, and thank you to the Travel Tech